Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 with your host, Hard Truck 1. Hello everyone, welcome back to the farm. Um, got a couple of interesting things for you today. Before we continue the harvest from last episode, if you all recall, we got these all set up and ready and everything. We own this field and the next field over. Almost looks like we own the next field over, but we don't. We only own these two fields right here. So, before we get started on the harvest, I got two things for you in mods. So, let's take a look at them. First one is over here under mowers. We got ourselves a kind of a swather. I'm not sure where it's from, but we got ourselves a swather. Haven't tested it yet. It's on the mod hub, basically for the in-game. So it's it's really nice. It's 105,000, so this is going to be a little ways off before we ever get this. Plus, we need a dedicated grass field or something for it. And it's two attachments. Actually, it has three attachments. So it has the regular header. Then it also has, under teeterers, it has this little header. And then under windrowers, it has this one. I'm not sure why they made a windrower for it, unless it's like, you could get the power unit and then this head, and then you have to use a regular tow behind. But that's one mod. Not sure there. Yeah, and the next mod is actually a horse pen. Now this is a two-place horse pen. As you can see, for $8,000, that's actually pretty nice. If we look at it, look how small this little thing is. So we could go like right up here. Yes. Hi, how you doing, doggy? Shush. We could go right up here, and look at this. We could put a horse pen in right there. Wouldn't interfere with our thing. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I know we only have 11. I know we only had like 11,000, and now we have very little. But look at that. We can actually now start thinking about getting into horses. We have to do a little extra with our stuff here. I mean, we're gonna have to plant one of these into oats. Probably gonna plant this smaller field in oats, plant that larger field back in the soybeans, and keep just plumbing out the soybeans. And everything. But that also gives us a reason to do some other stuff. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's go ahead and get this guy fired up. Getting completely fired up. Oh, blank. And we'll start the harvest. So, I think, really truthfully, if we can get into one horse, we can get one horse going, and make sure they're happy, make sure they're comfortable and stuff, and get at least one horse going. I mean, we get one horse, that's 50 grand already. I mean, okay, it will take an addition, it does take, an addition of $5,000, which we do not have right at the moment. We will have, as soon as we get this sold, we will have. This is going to be quite a bit of a harvest, because we not only got this field, but we've got that other field. So we can do that. So I think, really truthfully, our two main things that we have to do with the horses is, first off, we need to definitely make sure that we have enough food for them. So unfortunately, even if we sell this, we don't want to take and buy a horse right away because we don't have anything to feed them. We'll have to run this field at least once into oats. We can get quite a bit of oats off of it, and like I said, we have that big silo over there which we could do public storing. We have that one big silo over there. We can definitely get some stored over there quickly, or well, not quickly, but at least in the next in the next couple of days we can get some more. We can get some oats built up for the horses, for a horse. Then once we get the horse, then that'll take and help us a little bit, because really truthfully all we have to do is just keep the horse happy and fed and train, and I guess train it and everything, and once it gets up to however much money it's going to take and be, we sell the horse, and then voila, we've got a little extra cash flowing in that maybe we could do 2 horses then, and just as long as we have oats to feed, oats and other requirements. I don't remember what the full requirements are for horses. I'll have to look that up in just a second. But at least maybe that way we can actually help. It'll help us get better established. Whoa, dang it. Alright. Whoop, that was the wrong button. That's the button I wanted. And yeah, just get out and grab it. It's easier than, with it being that close, it's easier than trying to tab to it. Alrighty. It's under here. So this is actually going to be quite nice. This is actually going to have quite a bit of grain from these fields. So I think after, let's just pull up over here. So I think once we can get established on having a little bit of extra income, and what I mean by extra income is that we don't have to worry about maintenance costs or property loans or anything like that. I mean, even though our property investment is like way low, we still have to consider, we still have to kind of consider, being a little bit, precautious and stuff. I mean, we need, really truthfully, our big needs right now is we do need a bigger, power unit for the harvesters. Our bigger power harvester unit, because as you can see right now, I mean, I'm taking longer, doing these fields by having to go down the hill to harvest, and then backing up the hill to to do another swath, as to where in reality I should just be going around and around and around this thing, and then going up and down, and then going up and down a little bit. But as it stands, see, I've got to turn it off, back up, because it doesn't have enough power to drive itself uphill, is the problem. But with that being said, I mean, we really truthfully need to get a bigger power unit. I think once we can get to a point where we can get a couple of horses, because that's all that holds, and we might actually just get 2. It won't be that hard to actually to keep up the maintenance with 2 horses. And once we can get a couple of those horses sold, along the side of doing grain, that's one of the things that I'm thinking. We have to continue to do our most profitable grain, which at this point in time right now is soybeans. We won't probably switch. We probably won't switch until one of the other crops, until we can deplete the reservoir, the demand, until we deplete the demand of soybeans. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything else but soybeans. Except for the exception of keeping some oats handy for the horses. So that's pretty much what we need, what we're going to have to be doing, and everything. So yeah, once we get done with this field, we will definitely head off to the next field. Get at least 1 grain bin full in that. Then when we get to a point where we can purchase another field, I think what we could do is this field will then become basically kind of a catch-all for all of the things that we want to do. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with this field, is basically it's such a small field, and we've really truthfully, by adding the chicken coop and this house up here, we have really truthfully made it even smaller than what it should be. And I'm thinking that, unfortunately, I think that's going to limit what we can do in this field. So I may just end up flattening this field, probably flattening it about the same. Alright, let's go on up to the other field. We may end up flattening the field and probably moving our horse pen back down into that field. But that won't be until after, you know, maybe after, you know, we have this big old field. But that may not be until after we can purchase maybe this field up here. Let's see. Are you going to be able to move? Sort of. And you climb this little hill. You can just barely climb this little hill. Okay. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do. It looks like that's already in barley or something. But that looks like what we might actually be able to do at a later date is maybe be able to purchase this field, and that way these two fields, these two large fields here can sustain us in grain, and whatever grain we want to plant. That little field down there will then be turned into an area where we can put more, you know, like we can put more chicken coops, we can put more, we can get a bigger horse pen and be able to run like more horses, more chickens, maybe get into sheep. Sheep are actually pretty easy because they're just hay and water. That's all we basically have to do with them is just hay, make sure they have enough hay and enough water. And then be able to have like a huge animal farm and everything, and have it set up to where we can basically do that. And I think I keep talking about end goals, but I think really truthfully I think what I'm going to do with this series is I think I'm just going to continue to keep going on it. I mean, yes, I want to make sure oh, that's not going to work. I got to back up further. That's not going to work. Because when we come in to empty this out. Okay, so what I'm trying to take and say is I think we're just gonna continue the series until either something breaks in the game that I can't do anything about, or newer version comes out and I try to get the new one, or until you guys get tired of watching it. I don't know, or until I get tired of playing it, maybe. Which may be a long time. So, all right. So let's go to the map. Autosave. Which the autosave was not an autosave. If you can understand that, that's really truthfully an autosave is not really an autosave. All right, so soybeans. Oh wow, soybeans just took a. That's the wrong one. I was gonna say soybeans just took a real big dump. Looks like the restaurant. Alrighty. Alrighty. 1 minute. I'm gonna turn those off because we don't need that. We don't need to see the signs on this. Okay. So we'll go down here and we'll sell this slot. Pretty much we're gonna sell everything on this farm. We're not gonna keep any of it because we don't have any animals. I think the only animals that would take soybeans would be pigs as protein. But yeah, other than that, I think we're good. just run down here to the restaurant. And maybe we might be able to get up into a point where we can get a better tractor. Start getting up into a little bit bigger equipment and everything. I mean, our tractor's been running, this little tractor's been running non-stop since we got it, so. Alright, here we go. We got some moolah coming in. And boy, howdy do we got a lot of moolah coming in. Look at that. So we've made $22,000 with one load of grain. That's actually pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice. So if we get 4 of those, we'll have darn near close to $100,000. That's pretty nice. All right, we'll go back and get we'll get the combine unload. We'll probably do a few more swipes. Then I'll probably end the episode there. I know, unfortunately. I wonder what this guy thinks of every time I drive through this path right here. Because technically, I don't think that's actually a path. This piece right here, that piece right there, anyway. I think that this is like an off-road path or a walk path or something. And here I am just driving my tractor up and down that area. I wonder what they think of that. But I mean, it doesn't say no vehicles allowed on this path, so. Check for Toodle. We're good. Alrighty, so I think what I might do off camera between this episode and the next episode is I might actually go ahead and finish, I'll definitely finish harvesting. I can't do anything else if I don't. Then I'll go real quickly, or then I'll quickly as I can. I'm gonna run into the truck. I'm gonna quickly as I can change out. I'll do quickly as I can. I'll plant the fields back. And then get to a point where we can harvest the fields again. But this time we'll have oats in that one. We'll have, well actually I think if I do soybeans in that one and I do oats in this one will give us quite a bit of oats to where hopefully we won't have to worry too much about having oats. So I might do that. I might actually throw the oats in this field. Yeah, I might actually throw the oats in this field. And then, and put the soybeans back in that field. Hold on. Sorry about that, like dang program on my computer popped up. It's really annoying. I'm not gonna get into that with you right here. But anyway. So that'll be that. Okay, well, looks like we won't be planting that. Or we won't be planting too close to that because alright, we'll just drive through these. I might come back and see if I can clean that up a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, that little itty bitty bit is not going to be enough to worry about. But anyway, so anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to plant oats in this field. This will give us a lot of grain. Compared to that one over there, and yeah, I may even actually plant, well, I don't know. I might plant both of them, I might not. No, I need to keep a little bit of a profit, so I need to plant soybeans in that one, I need to plant oats in this one, and then I'll go, and then we can store the oats in that big old silo over there. And yeah, so probably do that. So I'll probably back this thing up the hill with you guys. And then unfortunately it's pretty close to that time. I'll probably end the episode. Like I said, I'll finish this field off camera. I'll actually finish this field off camera. I'll get all the planting and stuff done and ready and everything for next episode. And then once that's done, we'll come back. I'll come back and we'll we'll come back and we'll see if we can get the horse product, the horse pin. Before I go, let's take a look at what we need to do for the horses. This and all the way to the bottom, horses. There. The food is just hay and oats. Alrighty, so with that, I'm gonna call this an episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have been enjoying this episode. I know I have. That's the water trough thing. Well, we'll figure that out in a little bit. Anyway, I'm Hard Truck One. This is Farming Simulator 19, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.